What exactly is no self? Mark Epstein explains this often misunderstood Buddhist concept.
The self doesn't exist in the way we think it does. That's a very important qualification. The the no self idea in Buddhism, it is the critical, like the amazing contribution of Buddhist thought, and it's not as I want to say it's not as simple as it sounds. In a way, it is as simple as it sounds, but it's not the first way that we tend to think about it, because our minds, and it's not just Western minds, it's like minds, uh, uh, like to reify concepts, which means turn we have an idea of self, so there should be a solid self, like the phone, like the self there's a mark here somewhere, Then when we hear this idea of no self, it's like, oh, okay, wait, that was wrong. There's no self. Like I don't exist at all, uh, even though obviously I do, but Buddha says I don't. So, okay, there's no self. So then I think, even in Thoughts Without a Thinker, I tell a story about like going out to dinner with a bunch of my Buddhist friends early on in my practice. And no one wants to order because no one has a self. Everyone's pretending they don't have a self, so they have no preferences. You know, the mind that doesn't suffer is the one with no preferences. So you can't even order dinner. It's like, oh, what do you want? You go first. So it's just impossible. So the a lot of people trying to have no self is like a horrible experience. So, but that we don't exist the way we think we do, like that's so profound. Like then you have to try to try to be true about how you think you exist. How do you think you exist? Who do you think you are? When someone you love hurts your feelings, offends you, and accuses you. This is in some schools of Tibetan Buddhist thought, the the easiest way, the most direct way to find the self that doesn't exist is when someone you love accuses you of doing something you didn't do. And then that's the feeling of injured innocence, they call it. And then so you think to yourself, I didn't do that. How could he accuse me of that? So that, what's that I that didn't do that? What's that feel? You have to try to find that feeling. That's an advanced stage of insight meditation, where you try to zero in on the felt sense of self in order to discover that it's just a feeling.